Okay, for those of you that are in the room and for those of you on Zoom, I just want to share an amazing and most wonderful book. My dear, dear, dear friend, Anne Allen, who is such a being of light, um, during COVID, published the most wonderful book. And it's the only probably ever book that I will ever have been acknowledged in because I thought it was so wonderful. It's called Authenticity at Your Best, and it's just full of self-help exercises to navigate life. And I asked her if she wouldn't bring a few, and they're downstairs, just a few. If any of you are interested, what is it, Ann? $20. I think they're 25, but maybe 20 for you. And for those of you on Zoom, if you're at all interested, you can email her at ANYAALLEN@AOL.com. And I can't recommend this enough. If people just worked with this book, that would be transforming. All right, so one of the things we ended with was the crown pull. And I didn't tell you what the crown pull is all about. That's one of Donna Eden's things, but it creates more space in our cranium. So in addition to clearing depression, which we did, you've got more space in your brain. Isn't that wonderful? All right, let's go ahead and I want to talk about, some of these things you're just going to have to read on your own, but Yogananda, every 3 times a week when I do my stretches and sacred breathing on Zoom freely, in case you're interested, from 9 to 10:30, I pretty much share Yogananda's energization exercises. And I always make things my own, but he had people do the double breath. Why a double breath? And I questioned, why would he have us do a double breath? And if we have time, we'll talk about different kinds of breath work. But the double breath, if you think about it, it's a heartbeat. And so I'm sure that's why before he exited, he had people doing exercises with the double breath. And I like to add squats to them because I've learned through Qigong and other modalities that squatting helps bring the cosmic energy more fully anchoring into the body. And so in the beginning, because in the Western world, we sit a lot, we don't do, if we could do Asian squats, we'd be a lot healthier. But we aren't in Asia, and most of us haven't been taught to do that. But the more you can squat and bring that breath down, the better. And so I don't know, if you're ready, let's just stand up and I'll just show you some of what we do. And you'll need to spread apart so that you have a little bit of time, space between you. So because you're going to have your hands way out, and we're only going to do a few. I'm just going to show you what this is like, because in the beginning, your arms are going to get tired, and I don't want that. Never overstretch. You always want this to be fun. So this is what we do. Squat. One more. Good. Now, let me tell you what this does. First of all, each time you come over, you can bring one hand over and the other hand underneath, and that helps a little bit too. But you're crossing the midline of the body. You're creating new neural pathways in your brain. You're squatting, not just a little bit, to train the body to remember to move that energy all the way down through the spinal column, down to the earth star below your feet. And what else are you doing? And you're doing a double breath. Oh, and you're kissing your shoulders when you go back. And guess what that's doing? Anybody have an idea? You're clearing shoulder burdens, those shoulders. We don't need shoulds in our life. And so you're clearing your shoulders when you kiss your shoulder blades. And then another Another variation of the double breath is to bring your hands in prayer position, your elbows together. Same thing, squat. We'll just do 3 of them, okay? You guys are so good. I just love watching you. All right. And then sometimes I have people do chin chi, which we already did, which is that bring in that cosmic prana breath. And then one more thing that's really good is the super brain yoga breath. And they don't have you do double breath, but I add the double breath to that. But look super brain yoga up, Google it, and you'll see all the wonderful benefits that it creates. And so what that's like is you cross the midline of the body, grab your earlobes. Guess why? Your earlobes connect to the midbrain centers. They reflex right to the midbrain centers, right where you put earrings. That connects to the third eye and the pineal. So, and we'll do 3 of these as well. So, and we squat. So pinch into those if it doesn't hurt too badly. And we'll do 3 of these. Good job, guys. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Anytime, shake, 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 shake. Move your body as much as you can. Move your shoulders. And I haven't said, but as much as you can when you're doing things for yourself, just let your body soften and expand. Maybe hang over in ragdoll like this. And the more you hang over in ragdoll, the more you're in training, your legs get longer and stronger, the more you're increasing the life force up and down your spinal column and bringing new synovial fluid to lubricate between the vertebrae of your spine. So stretching is so very important. Your body is designed to move. And if you don't move the body, guess what? It goes stagnant. And so you do need to move the body. All right. So one of the things that this is a variation. Christine Day teaches something, who is another light worker that works with the Pleiadian star beings. But Donna Eden shares another one. So put your thumbs together and then put your fingers together in a steeple. And that actually, Christine Day says that if you've got a sacred triangle, that creates a portal. So imagine that this might be a portal to bring in that energy. So let's bring it first to the crown. Maybe even turn it up. And then down to the third eye. Breathe. And now down to the heart. And then down to the navel. And then just let it go, shake it out. The reason she says that we bypass the throat is because it needs attention all by itself. And I know that the throat in these sophisticated biofeedback machines that are available right now that take pictures of our auric field, the throat is the one that needs our most help. And why would that be? Because we haven't been able to speak our truth on the planet, or when we have, we've been punished for it. And so there's an awfully lot of cellular remembrance of trauma around not speaking what is really true for you. And that's changing right now because, again, as we talked about earlier, everything that is falling apart is falling apart so that we can break through. It's breaking down to break through. Okay. Lung purifier. And that comes with an exercise that I hope we'll have time to do. I'm trying to go through what I think are really quickie priorities for you all. As I say, I have 10 pages for you, but we're already more than halfway through the class. So you can imagine we're not going to get through. But Master Lan, who is a Qigong practitioner, says move your shoulders forward so that your clavicles are exposed and you can get your fingertips inside the clavicles. Now put those golden lasers or brilliant white golden lightning bolts on your fingertips and breathe and send it into your lungs. He said this is the doorway to the lungs. This is the lung purifier. Too bad we didn't know that 2 or 3 years ago, right? Let it go. And tensing the entire body is a way to relieve stress. So whether you're sitting or standing or lying down, if you just start at the toes and just tense all the way up, and tense and hold your breath and tense and just let it go. Or another good tensing one is to bring your shoulders up to your ears and hold your breath and tense the entire body. And then breathe it out with a sigh. Ah, good job. And another way to clear stress out of the body is just by doing this. And with your toes as well. And I can't show you with my feet, but if you do this both with your hands and your toes, and you know this little being Tinkerbell, well, she's probably real. I think we've been told a lot of things that are just allegories of what is, in a bigger sense, more of who we are. And so there probably is a Neverland. And the more you use your fingers and toes, the more you're connecting those digits with the subtle bodies that are in the radiant body. And so it's very important. And that's why healers have lightning bolts on their hands when they're healing. It's true. And doing it with your feet is what helps connect you to the Earth Star. So another way to connect you more fully to the Earth Star is to point and flex your feet. So do that now. Just point and flex your feet. This is the body energy pump. So you bring the chi in, then what do you want to do? You want it to come all the way down to the body, into that Earth Star center that's below your feet, and all the way down to the magnetic crystalline core of the earth. And the more you do this, not only are you pumping the blood down through your body, but you're pumping the chi down through your body as well. So pointing and flexing your feet a number of times during the day is really, really important now. And it also helps to ground you. So, and at the very bottom of your foot, if you follow the third toe down, at the very bottom of your foot, right under the pad, is the central nervous system reflex point. And if you press into that, I don't know if you guys can reach your feet now, but if you can find that place, that is activating and clearing the central nervous system. And during the mind control that happened on this planet, it did, really did. I remember it. And we're clearing that now, but the nervous system was compromised big time. Not only our Earth Mother, but every living creature on her was compromised. And now we're clearing that and reclaiming our sovereignty as spiritual beings. But that's a really good point to work. It's also right where kidney 1 is. And our kidneys, when we do leave the body, we haven't ascended, of course, our kidneys are usually the first to go. So those points on your feet are really important. And also the reproductive points, which are under your ankles. And those reproductive points under your ankles help create hormonal balance. And they're also Jinshin points. And I love Jinshin because Jinshin is one of the ancient true sciences that works with the radiant body. And so another really wonderful Jinshin point is right under your knee. So if on the inside of your knee, right, I don't know whether the camera can get this, but on the inside of your knee, right here a little bit down below the knee is that number 1 Jinshin point, and press into that. Or if you want to put your whole hand around it, or use your thumbs and your fingers will go. The knee has lots and lots of reflex points on it and a lot of spleen points. And this is a really, really good acupressure point to work. What number 1 Jinshin does, it's called the alpha point. It activates this subtle body movement, which is that tube torus, that toroidal field that is our light body. It activates that. And there are, in Jinshin system, there are 26 flows that run through the body. It activates all 26. And I could tell you what the all 26 are, but we don't have time. But the end point is the omega point. And I love this point too. So first you do the alpha point below your knee and you press into that, and then you give yourself a hug and you come so that your arms are right under your shoulder and right sort of under your armpits, but at the back. And just hug yourself, press into those points, and just give yourself a nice squeeze and say to yourself, I love my beautiful self. Somebody that talked today talked about how important it is to look in the mirror and love ourselves. And as human, we've been taught that we're not lovable. We don't even like the way we look or the clothes we wear. We've got all thousands and thousands of ways not to love ourselves. So it's time. It's time. Because if we don't love ourselves, who do you think will? The way we love ourselves is the way we love the life and the creator and the unfolding that's happening on our planet to move into these higher dimensions and evolve. Good job. Thank you. All right. And another way to repair our nervous system is by breathing rigorously through the teeth. And Saima and others have taught this too. There are a lot of traditions that talk about the importance of the s sound or the sh sound, and doing that just with intention of clearing the nervous system is so important. You want to do it a little bit? Okay, let's do the s first. S, 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 s. Now shh, 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 shh. Good job. And don't you think the angels that are overlighting us are amplifying what we're doing? I know they are. Thank you. All right. Okay. Super brain yoga, self-realization, focus on the crown. Oh, some of these you can just read and do them. The healing codes. I think this is an important one that we should probably do this together. I love the healing codes. The healing codes book is, maybe I didn't bring it. It might be one of the books downstairs, but I love the Healing Codes book. It has an incredible story behind it of someone whose wife had chronic depressions. He thought he'd married his beloved, and then his whole world fell apart because she was in suicidal chronic depression all the time. And on an airplane, he prayed because he knew she was in an episode. And so on the airplane, Spirit downloaded him, and it was coming in so fast. He said, God, not so fast. I can't write that fast. I thought that was so cute. But at any rate, when he got home from his plane ride, he had her do this. And within 45 minutes, her depression had ceased. She kept on doing it. She is no longer chronically depressed. It cleared the entire thing. Plus, somebody who was a naturopath and an MD, and he was a regular doctor. He was really feeling fatigued. And one of his doctor friends diagnosed him with Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. And he didn't like that diagnosis. So he went to another doctor, got the same diagnosis. And then serendipitously, he ran into the man who wrote the book, The Healing Code. And he faithfully did this. And I think it was either 3 weeks or 3 months. Maybe it was 3 months. We'll give it 3 months. Every symptom of ALS disappeared and never came back. And now we think in this world that that's an incurable disease. So you can see that there isn't anything on this world that isn't incurable, but maybe there's a lesson behind it. So again, we always ask for what's highest and best because it's all win-win, and it always comes with the love behind it because that's all creator is. I am love. There we go. All right. Oh, healing codes. All right, let's do it. So the thing about healing codes, there are 4 major stations. And as I told you, I like to make it simple. And all of these are in your handouts. It's all explained in your handouts, but we'll do just a little bit of it so you get the idea. So the first station is right at your eyes and your brow. And you make crab claw hands and put a little bit of tension in your fingertips. And wherever you are outside, move your hands just a little bit so you can feel something, anything. That's the 0 point energy. And Greg Braden and others and people that do energy work, we think that 0 point energy is where the infinite comes in and goes out all at once. So this might be an important point. When you find that 0 point energy, and just let the energy stream in through your fingertips, into your eyes, into your brow. Maybe only just for about a minute. There's a resting station, but if you're okay, we'll just go on to the next. Can you all feel this right now? Well, I want you all to focus on calling in the angels so that everybody gets an experience. Move your fingers just a little bit so that you're getting a sensation. Could be in your palms, could be in your fingers. You could feel a vacuuming. You could feel a flowing in, could be coming out, could be going in, any feeling. Nod your head when you feel. And if you don't, just keep trying. This works. This works. And the more you play with the chin shi, feeling that subtle energy, the more your fingertips will become sensitive to this energy. Now let's move down to the jaws. Same thing. Claws, crab fingers, claws, and just find that 0 point energy, just a little bit away from, in the energy field, away from your jaw. I'll do another thing for you that really clears jaw energy as well if we have time. Good. All right, now down to your throat. I'm just giving you a taste so that you can do this on your own. Doesn't take much, just a minute or so. Maybe a minute and a half on each point. Who can't afford to spend 6 minutes a day clearing these vital centers? And these are really important centers. And now come all the way back to the 4th station, which is at the temples. Now the temples are very important. They're neurovascular points. There is, in light body, there is an infinity loop that runs through the center of this area and connects. So this is a really, really good one to do. So that's the 4th station. There are resting points. If you look at your handouts, you'll get the basic setup. But for right now, this is just a taste. Tap it in at the temples, tap it in at the crown. Good job. Okay, I love sound, and we probably don't have enough time to go through sound, but sound moves me more than anything else. I love the gong. I love the crystal singing bowls. I think it connects us, because it doesn't have a bigger agenda, especially if you have an intention. But even our sound music that has heart behind it, it just moves us and it helps us connect to that soulful self. And then we'll talk about cleansing baths, because that's so important right now, because we're clearing so much old energy. And so some people say Epsom salts. Epsom salts has magnesium. If you're deficient in magnesium, that's a really good thing to take a bath in. But a gal who has created something called the EE system recommends a combination of baking soda, Himalayan salt, or sea salt, or it could be Celtic salt, I suppose, and did I say soda? Baking soda? I did say baking soda. Baking soda, oh, borax. Borax. Borax is wonderful because it clears viruses, the ones that maybe even aren't viruses that might be floating around that we think might be viruses, and it really clears. And borax is made, 20 mule team borax, It's been around for a long, long time. It's boron, and boron is one of the elements of our earth. And so that's a really good cleansing agent. So those three things: soda, salt, and borax. All right. I do it in the bath every evening, but I don't do. But if you've been through a really big cleansing, you probably want to do more and just soak a little bit more. But just to do it, those are really good cleansers, and they help to pull the toxins out and alkalinize the body. Yes. Yes, it's on that last page. Everything, almost, I'll tell you if it's, I haven't shared it with you. But everything I'm talking about is in your handouts. And meditation, of course, meditation is how we connect. And meditation, people think they have to sit and be quiet, but you know, good music can put you in a state of alteration as well. So anything that feeds and makes you happy and feeds your soul and makes you feel expansive is meditative in nature. And having other people work on you. I love having my feet worked on. My feet, for me, are key to moving energy. So chants, mantras, decrees, and your own favorite clearing and cleansing devices and exercises. Cryon, who is, he calls himself, I don't think it's a he, it's a collective, but they, he, she, say that especially now, in the past, mantras were only so-so, but because of the increased plasmic energy that's streaming into our earth right now, making up your own I am decrees is super, super, super powerful. So you can play with that. Okay, years ago, Edgar Cayce said, never ever sleep exhausted. And he especially said, don't watch violent things before you go to bed, because you will replay them in the subconscious and you won't get adequate rest. So I think it's not only is it important to do some kind of energy work if you're really feeling exceptionally tired, like some kind of breath work or some of the tools that I've given you, whatever speaks to you. And then to go to bed. And then I always like to ask to be taken. Remember, we have to ask to the higher healing temples for rejuvenation or for instruction. It might be for instruction. And if you get in the habit of doing that, then you just automatically do it before you sleep. And then you wake up ready to go. And that's good. So what was I going to say? Oh, just recently, one of the channels said that if you had nothing more to do, you have no idea, it's just being in a body, how important you are and how precious it is that you're on the planet right now. Isn't that cool? You don't have to do anything. You're just here. And we are just here. When I had my experience, I saw everything is here. We're just covered over a little bit, maybe a lot. And we don't always recognize that here we are. And here I am is the I am love that is here. And that's what we're really longing to experience. So anyway, this channel said, if we really want to help the planet and we really want to move into this golden age, that we, as often as we can, we should visualize that golden white light into the planet, because we're a part of her too, biologically. And the more we do that, the more she gets it and the more she's empowered to do it. And I'll share some other things that help the earth move back into that greater balance as well as we go along. I hope I'll have time. But it's that brilliant golden white light. If you look at the sun when it's at the noon crescent, high in the sky, it's brilliant. It's brighter than the noonday sun. So see how bright you can make your visualization when you send it to the earth. And then Blossom Goodchild, this same channel even mentioned that Blossom Goodchild, who is a channel, I think in the UK, and she's darling, and she's older. And he said hers is simple, but you have no idea how powerful she is and how much good she's doing. And all she says is, I am light, I am love, I am truth, I am. Isn't that cool? All right. Now we're going to do some tapping. Now we're really getting into Donna Eden, who I just love. And I just love what she shares because it's so profound and it so works. But first, before we do the tapping, I have to, because I definitely wouldn't want to send you home without doing my very favorite thing in all the world lately that I have been sharing. And that is a fear removal technique. So this is from Donna Eden, and she calls it the triple warmer smoothie. I've made it my own, so it's not exactly like you're probably going to see it if you get on edenmethod.com. So rub your hands together and activate that chi, and then just gently send out the stagnant energy and the excess into the violet flame. Bring your hands to your temple. Brilliant golden white light into that temple area, activating your third eye, and then pull across your forehead. And this regulates the entire radiant body system. This is activating your light body. And then you come to your temples, which is where that infinity loop is. Send that beautiful laser light or lightning bolt into the temples, and then drag your fingers in back of your ears and all the way in back of your ears into the bottom of your ears. Now take another deep breath in. You're breathing with all of this, of course, aren't you? I'm talking, so you got to be breathing. All right, down here at the base of the ears is a really beautiful balance point. And I'll show you something else as soon as we finish this. That's good. But breathe into this area, lightning bolts into this area, and then drag down your neck. When you drag down your neck, you're clearing lymph. There's a lot of lymph channels here, and you're also activating the longest nerve in the body, the vagus nerve. And then you could bring your clavicles forward and send lightning bolts into your lungs. And then you bring your hands back and opposite your neck. You just put those golden light body hands and you clear any burdens that are in your system at all with those beautiful lightning bolt hands or golden lasers through your palms. And there are brother-sister lines in the axonal system of our light body, but these are parallel to the pranic tube, to our central line of light. So this is a good thing to do. But where your fingertips land, press into that area. And in Jin Shin, we call this playfully, we call it the garbage dump because it clears toxins out of the body. But you can use all your fingers across because every single part of our body is sacred. With our intention, anything that doesn't serve us will probably want to leave. Good. And now drag your hands down and come to that precious sacred heart of yours again. Hands on your heart, hands on your physical heart and your high heart. And just cherish that you that is you. Good job. All right, here's another balancer. Bring your fingertips to your temples and bring your thumbs at the very base of your ears. This is a balance too, and this is sad. And don't believe anything I say. If I didn't do my disclaimer early on, I should have, because don't believe anything I say that you can't prove to yourself. So, but this is supposed to connect us to the Galactic Federation. Oh, we want to connect as star brothers and sisters. This is the ticket. Maybe. Just feel how good it feels to do this. Good job. All right. Okay. Now I'm just going to share a couple more things. This is a liver cleanse according to Donna Eden. Bring your middle finger to this little notch just in front of your ear, and then open your mouth. Can you see how your jaws connect here? Oh my gosh. So put those lightning bolts on your fingertips again, golden light on those fingertips, and send that light into the jaw. Guess what? Jaws carry lots of stress. Good job. And now sliding your fingers, come all the way up to the widow's peak area at your hairline. And this is the unicorn chakra. So send lightning bolts in to that area. This is an antenna in our light body. We probably haven't got there yet, but it is, I'm sure, in the inner realms, it's probably already there, just waiting for us to acknowledge it. And then drag your fingers back to your temples, again to those neurovascular points, that infinity loop. And you've just formed a sacred triangle in your body, and you've cleared your eyes and your liver. Isn't that beautiful? I'm sure you guys can feel something. Maybe you don't know what you're feeling, but the more you do it, the more you'll recognize that you're moving energy big time. All right. Another good thing to do with the ears is to bring your thumb and one finger together right where the ear first forms at the very tip of your ears, and press into that. This clears the central nervous system as well. This is central nervous system reflex point. And you might even press a little bit into your cranium. Whoa. Good job. And then massage your ear. Your ear is a hologram of your whole body, and it feels so good. Sometimes the ears get itchy when the energy gets big, and it feels so good to massage your ears. And then what I want you to do is I want you to bring your middle finger to right where you were in the beginning, where it first forms. And I want you to trace along the outside of that rim where the ear curls around, and do that 3 times. And what you're doing here is cranial nerves attach at these points on the outside of the ear. And so you're activating those cranial nerves to come online. Cool, huh? Yeah. All right. All right, now Donna Eden, this is her energy, her daily energy routine. And it's a cool one. And she does it every day and sometimes many times during the day, and so do her girls. So right here at the cheekbones, under the eyes, you tap on the cheekbones. This clears the stomach meridian. Now, she doesn't say, but because of emotional freedom technique, I'm also going to have you tap under your nose. So tap under your nose. I don't know what this does. Under your at your chin line. I don't know what this does, except Judy Satori says that the chin is the faith chakra. I don't know whether that's true or not. And now tap where your clavicles come together, just under your throat. This is kidney meridian. And tap at your thymus or at the K27s, which is adjacent on the EFT points. This is for immunity. And then under your armpits, right here under your armpits. And this clears infections and moves the lymph. And these are spleen points. And I know somebody in this room that knows those well. All right. And we've already done the cross crawl, but what she adds to the cross crawl, and there are variations of cross crawl. So if you want to know more that aren't in my handouts, just Google them. But she also does the shoulder pull. And what the shoulder pull does is it helps balance the energy, and it's for clarity and coordination. And when you go opposites, what you're doing, we have diagonal energies that get out of balance, and this helps to bring that spiraling energy and the diagonals back together again. So what she has you do is you just bring one hand and you drag over your heart and you come to the opposite hip. That's all you're doing. Other hand, cross your heart, come to the opposite hip. And you breathe. So do both sides, and you can do this as many times as you want to. Connecting heaven and earth. Let's all stand up. It's about time. You've been sitting too long. Me too. No. One hand up, but this time not pointing. Place your palm so that you're receiving that higher energy and really stretch. One hand to the heavens, one hand to the earth, and then look up for inspiration at that high hand. And breathe in that beautiful cosmic energy. And then slowly trying to feel the subtle energy. Bring your hands together at your heart in namaste. And then we'll go to the opposite side. And this time, again, look up for inspiration. Hands again flat to receive the energies from the heavens and from the earth. And bringing them in slowly, balancing at the heart. And you can do this several times. And then she has another one called Zip Up. And she said this protects us from negative energies and it boosts confidence and it helps us not give our power away. And so you start at your root center at the pubic bone and you just energetically and with intention pull slowly up. And you move to just under your lower lip. When you get to your underlip, you imagine that there is a lock here. There probably is. And you turn the key and lock it up, and then you throw the key away. I send everything I throw away into the violet flame. I don't like throwing things away. All right. And that's just a simple thing, but it's a good visualization. And she says it works. She sees the energy. Hookup. We've already done the hookup. So now here's the blowout. And this is so that we respond and not react. So she said, you bring your hands together in front in tight fists, and then you go out and over your head and come all the way down to the earth, and you just send it into the violet flame. And then you do it again. And send it into the violet flame. Let's do it 3 times. Love, wisdom, and power in balance, sending it into the violet flame. And she says you can do that as much as you can. And then guess where you end? Either in namaste or at your heart. All right. And then she uses a stainless steel spoon. It has to be a stainless steel spoon. You can go ahead and sit down. And what she does is she rubs the round side of the spoon on the bottom of her foot. And then she says that you make long strokes up and down your foot with this stainless steel spoon. And she says that hooks us up to our nervous system. And it calms and grounds, and it pulls nutrients up from Mother Earth. Now, another thing that pulls nutrients up into your body is by looking physically at the sun. And because the sun is so brilliant, you probably don't want to do this too often or too long at a time. And you probably want to do it early in the morning when the sun first comes up or when it goes down. But I've been doing it even at other times most of my life. And I have really good eyesight, and I'm almost 83 years old. So again, I don't know what keeps my eyes good. I know what keeps my eyes good, but again, probably doing exercises probably helps. And the master who was here 2,000 years ago that we knew as Jesus or Yeshua or Cosmic Sananda, told Glenda Green in the early 90s that focusing on that sun area also helps bring in needed nutrients so that we become less dependent upon the food chain. And so think about that. You know, we know we can't live without the sun, but there are a lot of things we can't live without, like water, for example, and air. So you might just play with that and see if that helps you at all. And sometimes after you've looked at the sun, if you focus inward, you might see things that you wouldn't ordinarily see that might connect to your inner self. At least I do. Okay, the other thing I'm not going to tell you this because I haven't done this so much, but she says, put your hands on your thighs, but she has you put your hands on your thighs a lot and spread your fingers. And, and then she says that you send the energy inward. So I guess I will have you do that. Send it inward. It's pretty easy to do, but she has you put your hands on your thighs a lot, right kind of at the top of your thighs. She has some really cool exercises, way more than I have time to share with you, that work the entire body. So I really recommend that you go to her website. She has so many free things you would not believe. And she has hundreds of 1-minute energy tips that are free. And it's EdenMethod.com. Oh, yeah. She says, taking down the flame for stress. So hands on your thighs. So send that radiant energy into your thighs. Bring your hands up and over your head, fingers touching, and then come down to the crown and place your thumbs in the center of the crown. And you're making that steeple that we talked about earlier. So make that sacred triangle, come down to your crown. We did this before. Then to your third eye. And then to your heart, and then to your solar plexus, and then to your navel. And then at your navel, flatten your hands and make a triangle like this. And take a deep breath in and move your hands all the way down and hang over in ragdoll. Stand up to do this. So bend over and just hang down in ragdoll. And you can even, another thing she has you do, hang down here for a minute. And just notice as you're hanging down here, how your legs are lengthening and how your spine is lengthening. Just becoming more limber and looser. Now while you're down here, begin to make figure eights into your field. Make figure eights in any way you want to. Any way you want to. Imagine you're the orchestra leader and you are designing what you want your life to be. And just bring that figure eight energy up and over your head. And like Ziggy does when he orchestrates the sunrise, or orchestrate your own sunrise. And pull that violet flame energy in, or the 49th ray of double rainbow visionary consciousness energy for the collective. Pull it through your fingertips in that V for victory position. Just feel it. Doesn't it feel good? And another thing she has you do a lot of times is roll your hands up and down your body like this in fists. And so if you don't like the figure eights, I kind of like the figure eights, but if you don't like the figure eights, do that roll up kind of thing. All right. Now we're going to go, let's see. We're going to go to talking about how the body, I've told you that the body has to move to create change. And you can see that when people give up on life, they stagnate and they leave. And again, because God doesn't give up on any of us, guess what? We do it again. We do it again. So some of the things that you might want to do to keep the body moving is spinning. And I have Michael Rhodes he was Al's age. He is Al's age, or would. He's 85 years old, and he is so vital. He's an Australian mystic, and his books, one of his books is downstairs. And when he does the 5 Tibetan rites, he sees on the inner plane what it's doing to the physical body. And the 5 Tibetan rites is a physical thing, but I gave you what he sees metaphysically in your handout, just so that you could get a taste and maybe try it. And the Tibetan rites are, besides spinning, they're yoga postures. One is the downward dog. There are others. And so he does that every single day, and he works, he shares all over the world. He and Carolyn, before COVID, went all over the world to do week-long intensives. Now he's doing them on Zoom. Acupuncture, acupressure yoga, cranial sacral work. And cranial sacral work is so wonderful because it works the subtle body. It's so gentle. It doesn't use your agenda. It uses the body's innate intelligence to do the movement. So it's a wonderful way of balancing the body. Qigong and Tai Chi are just some things that you can look at. And always pay attention to angles because we are sacred geometry. And in the universe works in circles. We have planets that are circular. Everything is in circles, except here we are, and we're angles and circles, but we are sacred geometry, but we're helping to move these angles into greater flexibility and movement. So paying attention to your elbows, to your knees, to any sort of angle on your body when you're doing energy work is really important. And then you won't get, infections or bursitis or arthritis, that sort of thing. And okay, let's see. Violet flame energy on page 5, and you can go to your handouts because if you'll humor me, we'll say this together and see if we don't feel the power of the violet flame. So page 5, and down at the bottom of page 5 is an I am decree. It's one I took from the I am stuff that I've studied over the years. And so should we all say it together? Are you game? All right. Beloved, mighty I am presence, with as much compassion, mercy, grace, and ease as is now possible, blaze through me the cosmic violet consuming flame of divine love. Feel it. Transmute all discordant and limiting thought forms and decrees, desires out of my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. Cause, core, effect, record, and memory, past, present, and future through all time and space, and replace them with my divine blueprint and highest potential. Bring the perfect divine satisfaction and hold your full dominion here, now and forever. Almighty I am, almighty I am, almighty I am, beloved I am, beloved I am, beloved I am. And then I say, anchor, lock, and seal. So be it, and so it is. So anytime you say something with great passion and emotion and you want it to stick, you say anchor, lock, and seal. All right. How are we all doing? All right. Did I hear somebody? Question? No. And by the way, anytime you have a question, you do know you're supposed to speak up, right? And thank you, those of you who have. Okay. The breath. There are some really favorite breaths. There's a quantum breath, and in which you just bring in long, slow, and then slowly out. Some people put counts with it. And then there's the prana energizing breath. And I really like this because it makes you high. Are you high enough, or could you use a little bit more? Should we do the prana energizing breath? This is from Art of Living, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. So this is what you do. You bring your hands out in fists by your heart, and it's good for you to be sitting down. And so this is the visualization. You're going to breathe up and you're going to pull your fingertips out, and you're going to pull all that cosmic energy in through your fingertips. And then you're going to bring it all the way down. And you're going to breathe rigorously through your nose as you do this. And let's see how many times. It's good to do it 21 times, but you can probably See, 11 is a magic number. I think it's a double number. Let's see if we can't do 11. So here we go. Is that 11? Okay, now hold your hands out, palms out. You feel it? Don't you just feel that chi running through your body like crazy? Well, not crazy. It's innate intelligence. It knows exactly what to do. All right. Okay. And the ocean breath is a breath that's used a lot in yoga, and it's called the Ujjayi breath as well. And I love this breath because I have throat issues. And when I was out of the body a couple years ago, one of the things that was really affected, and I had throat issues before this happened, was that I had that respirator in my throat, and I'm still physically kind of working that out. And so I love, even before that happened, I love the Ujjayi breath, and it really activates the throat. And again, I told you the throat really needs extra attention. So what you want to do is you want to focus on your throat when you breathe in. You can do this through the nose or through the mouth. And this is what you do. Or through the mouth. You want to hear your own breath. So practice that a few times, maybe through your nose, maybe through your mouth. Okay, good job. And just notice and feel what you feel. Just notice in your field. Donna Eden has something she calls the Darth Vader breath. And she has you breathing in through your throat, and she has you leaning over, and then you go something like, it's a little bit like Darth Vader, right? Doesn't it sound like it could be a Darth Vader breath? All right, and circular breathing, I want to talk a little bit about that. When you do circular breathing, you're connecting the in-breath with the out-breath. You can play with any of these. And then the Merkaba activation breathing is in your handouts. And I'm not sure that we're going to do that, but I will talk to you about the importance of mudras. Every time, because we're sacred geometry, every time we touch a finger, we're touching a level of awareness within our subtle body system. Isn't that amazing to think of that? And so every time, every mudra has a different meaning. There are books on mudras even. Mudras are ancient. So every time you touch your finger, you're accessing a deeper and different level of awareness. When you add sound to it, you really are creating different things. You could use the vowel sounds, which were sounds that are before the consonants came in, pre-language in our species. But the reason this works is because as above, so below. And so in our world, we've had digital watches and digital clocks. You press one button, you press the same button, it does something different each time. Well, it's the same thing with our body. We are accessing different levels. So you can play with that, and you can play with this with sound or with breath. And as I say, I've given you handouts that talk about the different states. I'm not sure they're accurate. Again, remember, don't believe anything I've shared or anything I say unless you can prove it to yourself. And then the breath of love. Want to talk about the breath of love. Anne and I recently in January did the breath of love, and it's a beautiful, beautiful breath in which you breathe in either always only through one or the other, through the nose preferably. But if you can't breathe through the nose, you breathe through the mouth, and then you just let the out breath go. And I think I gave you Yes, I did give you the website in case you want to look that up. All right. Some of this other stuff you already know how important it is to be grateful for things, even if you think you're not, because if you pay attention, there's a gift behind it, even if it seems really hard. The gal that spoke this morning talked about her gifts when she's been through some really hard stuff, and then she's recognized the blessing behind it. And especially for water and food. I think if you bless something, if you think about the word blessing, it can only be that. It can't be anything but. Blessing isn't a curse, it's just a blessing. So if you bless, knowing that you are a sacred being, and you bless your food or your water, even if you think it's bad for you, how can mystics and saints drink poisons and not be affected? It's because they're at one with everything. And so, and we're just beginners, darn it. But if we practice, it does change the taste and the vibration of things that are told that are not good for us. So play with that and try it, but especially water. And I told you downstairs the importance of hydrogen water, how the more we get oxygenated and the more we move this newer energy into our bodies, the more healthy and vibrant and vital we will be while we're still here. And the importance of using tools, anything that speaks to you, you follow it. So whether it's crystals, because we are becoming crystalline beings, and there are certain crystals that speak to every one of us, some different than others, but selenite's a really, really good one. And it's just recently in the last, I don't know how many years, become appropriate for us to be using on the earth. It's a water crystal, and it is like citrine and kyanite. It will not attract negativity. It is so high vibrational that it'll help clear and cleanse your other crystals. So selenite's a really good thing. And I have a monthly selenite gathering in which we work on each other. So if you're inclined to do that, let me know, and I'll put you on my mailing list and send you invitations once a month. It's always on the second Sunday afternoon of the month. And I especially wanted to mention flower essences and homeopathy, because flower essences and homeopathy, according to beloved John in a channel, work on the causal body. And so herbs work with our physical body, and they're really good because they help us attune to the earth. And that's our job right now, is to be in balance with her. But working on those things that are in the subconscious and unconscious, sometimes homeopathy remedies or flower essences will really help. And if you want more information on that, just email me and I'll give you some insights, or Google it. You can Google almost anything right now. And I especially wanted to talk about orgonite. And Dr. Darlene Nixon, who is in the front row here, used to make orgonite. I don't think she has been so much anymore, but I'll show you an example of orgonite, and then I'll tell you what it does. This is a sample of orgonite. And this particular piece was made by someone who comes here to First Spiritual, and it radiates 16 miles outward. And what orgonite does is it creates a piezoelectric field, and the crystals that are within the orgonite pieces then are able to explode. Now, what that does is it creates, I don't know, pressure, I guess, within the crystal. Look it up if I'm not saying it right. And it gives the elemental kingdom, the elves, the gnomes, all of the little elemental beings that are a part of our body that help to heal our body, it gives them permission to do their work. And they haven't been given permission by humans for a very long time. most of us don't even believe in such things. And so Orgonite is wonderful for healing the environment, and it really neutralizes the the low frequencies that are the toxins in our environment. It helps negate and help neutralize those things that have been harmfully placed into our environment. So look up Orgonite. Do you have anything you want to say about that? You have to come up and speak in the microphone.
The reason that I started making the Orgonite objects was to clear electromagnetic frequencies. And it was based on the work of Wilhelm Reich in his orgone collection booths. In the early 20th century, he was teaching in Russia how to be an activated human being. And it was mainly about having a really complete sexual life. And he got kicked out of the country because people would rather do that than go to work every day. So the orgone energy that you would see in those booths looked like little blue sparks. And a lot of people had incredible breakthroughs when they would go, in the 50s, it was repressed housewives, basically, that would have organic releases. So the things that I do is I try to layer a metal and a organic material in layers within the resin with a central dual pointed crystal that have 4 single pointed crystals at the bottom. And that is imitating that idea of cleansing energy through those activated crystals. So I put one on my computer tower. I put one, in my windows, all these ways of transmuting quote unquote dark energy into healing energy.
Okay, tell me what time it is, someone. Okay, because I can't, that clock has a glare on it. I can't see it. Want to tell you about gargling, and especially gargling with sound, because what that does is that helps the vagus nerve. And so what you're doing is you're helping activate that nerve also, so that it is coming into its own right balance. And it is out of balance on our planet right now, and most people. And in fact, working with our pineal gland, a lot of people say that our pineal gland was designed to be the size of a pea, and it's the size of a piece of rice right now in most of humanity, because of the toxins and the fluoridization and the intentional environmental stuff that has been done to our planet via HAARP and other things that we're now just beginning to be aware of. So, and then I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of creating a still point. And I have, again, I told you, if you're wanting to know more, I can email you a handout, if you let me know, from Upledger Institute, which tells all of the advantages. There are hardly any things that are disadvantages to creating a still point in the body. Only when you've had something major like a stroke or a heart attack should you not do a still point, especially around the head. But our cranial sacral rhythm is like this. It comes in, it pauses, it goes out, it pauses. And it's like 1001, pause, 1002, pause, 1003, pause, 1004, pause. And if you get sensitive, you can feel this in your own body. There's also a faster rhythm in our physical body that's a little bit like the cranial rhythm, which is the lymphatic rhythm, and it's a little bit faster. So pay attention. It's the slower one, if you're sensitive, that you can feel. So what happens when you create a still point in your body is that your body, all your organs start relaxing, and it's a temporary reboot. Your body naturally does this through the day without your even knowing it. It's just a part of our autonomic nervous system, I guess. But if you do it intentionally, when you're in a little bit of stress, what you're doing is you're just helping your body be okay with all the massive change that's coming into the earth. So one of the ways we create, the way we create a still point, you can use tennis balls under your occiput, and that really helps as well. And that's what the handout is all about. But you can create a still point in your body, anywhere on the body, because that cranial sacral rhythm goes all through our blood, all through the body, in and out, in and out, in and out. So I want you guys to put your hands, let's put them on our knees, because our knees need a little bit of help. And so first, before you even think about a still point, just make your hands be golden light body hands, because they are already. Just create golden light body hands and see that golden liquid white light going into your knees. Now, no matter whether you do it on the outside or the inside, I want you to create with your thumbs and your fingers some pressure on either the insides or the outsides, so that that rhythm that goes out and comes in, because it's very subtle and it doesn't take much pressure to do that, so that it is creating a still point within your system. Now, some people that are sensitive can feel this immediately because they feel a deep relaxation in the body. I hope I've given you enough good stuff today that you're not in a bad place so that you notice it, but just hold it out, and maybe hold it out not for very long. You don't have to do it for very long. However, if you held it out for a whole minute or 5 minutes, it wouldn't hurt, because the body knows how to readjust itself. Our bodies are fantastic sacred geometry temples. And so just keep holding it out, just so. Yeah, now you can, now just let your hands go and just let it happen. So you've created a still point in your body, and you might just notice in your body if you feel any different somewhere or other throughout your body. Anybody? I'd like some feedback. I know you guys have been so quiet and I've been talking so much, but have you all felt something today? Yes. Okay, good. All right. So I've said a little bit in the handouts about how important it is to connect with our body elemental, because they're the form builders. They have been initially given that creative impulse in nature to help our nature bodies heal. Now we're more than just physical. So I want to acknowledge that too. But guess what? Our balance, our body, our planet isn't even in balance with nature right now. So our first job is to be in balance in our body and with ourselves. And our first directive right now is to honor these bodies, to love our bodies, to listen to them. And a lot of why our bodies are the way they are is not our fault. I mean, we're a part of our ancestral lineage, and this earth has been moving for a very long time, and we've been coming in and going out probably for a very long time as well. So a lot of what you experience is probably not even of your own creation. So pay attention and ask, is this mine when you feel something? And if it isn't, just let it go. Breathe in and just use that violet flame and let it go. And the violet flame angels are only too delighted to help you do that. The angels just long for us to connect with them so that they can help us move the energy out. That's the truth. And One of the things that I want to talk about also is the power of our thoughts and our words and our emotions. And I know I'm speaking to the choir. You've all been told this if you're on the growth path at all. But it's really true. Even subtle things that are not our own thoughts and emotions that come from the collective, we need. It's our responsibility. If we feel it, it's our responsibility to clear it. And that's why that violet flame is so important. And so again, that little picture that I have on your first page, and if you want those little things to put in your wallet that I have downstairs, be sure and take them home. And the other thing I want to say is you find what works for you. So anything I've told you, and I've given you lots of tools and a lot of tools that I won't talk about just because I want to get us home balanced and in one piece. And there are grounding plates, 3 sets of grounding plates around the church. So if you feel any little bit out of balance, either see me or stand on the grounding plates. But of all the tools I've given you, your job is to play with them and to find what really speaks to your heart, and then to find your own routine so that you can really work on keeping on a daily basis, raising that vibrational quotient of the planet in your own body so that more quickly rather than slowly, we're moving into this new energy. And again, as I told you earlier, I like to do it. I always like to ask for compassion, mercy, grace, and ease, because a lot of what happens to us, we're unconscious of, and we think something's doing it to us. We have no idea of the bigger picture of how this has been going on for a long time. So the most important thing for you to do is just to be aware of everything that happens in your body and not to be pointing fingers for what happens outside, because it's always something for you to be looking at that is within your own body. And there isn't any one of us on this planet that isn't in some way, shape, or form in a growth process, in an evolutionary process. So I think it's one of the channels that is very good, I think, on this planet, said that with everything you want to say or do, you should first think, is this adding to the light of the world? And if it is not, then he says, stop it immediately. And he said that with great power. And so if we think about it, we tend to think we're a personal being, and yet we're multidimensional, and our personality is only a small part of it. And yet that's mostly what feels real to us. And so just to start thinking bigger and to asking, what is a win-win here? And even those patterns that might be karmic, that have been passed down through your generational line, it's important to really know that you're the instrument that is clearing it all right now. There's lots of things out on the internet and in the world that help us clear those ancestral patterns. But it all is about listening to the body. There isn't anything that you're not going to ascend without caring for your body temple. You might get a temporary respite from the density of this world, but to truly find the joy that we are, we have to do our own inner child work. And it's not always easy. It's not always easy. So are there any questions that you have to ask before I go through my notes and make sure I told you some of the best things that I thought I had to share with you today? Yes, Donna. And Scotty is going to be the microphone bearer.
Didn't want to go up there. Aurelia, this is not something that you taught today, but it is something that you taught. And I do it all the time. And it feels wonderful, but I don't remember why. And that is, I'm going to have to move my hands in that position. Thank you. It's this. Okay, now can I do it? No, I can't remember now what it is. It
Okay,
just
I
happens.
know what you're going to say. I think, Donna, it's what Christine Day shared. And we did a variation of that when we did the steeple.
Yes.
Okay, well, Christine Day calls this, and this is not in your notes. I had it in your notes, but because I gave you the steeple, I didn't think you needed this too. But if Donna loves it, you might love it too. And I did it for years. Now I'm doing the steeple. Again, you make a sacred triangle, and then Christine says, bring your middle fingers together. And I don't know why, but the middle finger reflexes to the pericardium, which is the lining around the heart. So that might be why. And she said that this creates a portal. And so if you do this, and in Qigong, we do this, and then we go out. But if you bring your middle finger together too, this creates a portal. You can do the same thing that we did with the steeple and move it at your energy centers down to your third eye. Is that the right one, Donna?
I believe that's the right configuration. And as
it-
best I recall, you were saying you can do this anytime, even when you're just listening to people. But that is, I do it all the time when people are talking. It keeps me right where they are.
well, maybe it was the pineal mudra.
It could be.
And I showed you that earlier. So let's do the pineal mudra again. Again, you clasp your hands together and then clasp them the awkward way. Just move one pinky over, index finger. See, you can do this in your lap. And this activates the pineal gland. Is that it? Not sure. Well, this is a really good one. And you can do this any time of the day and nobody knows what you're doing. And actually, if you don't keep your index fingers together, that's okay too, because you've already moved your pinky one digit over. And it's, it's intention. Everything is intention. So what you intend, and you intend with goodness, you can't go wrong. You just absolutely can't go wrong. And you have the help of heaven. And what is heaven? It's the I am love. The greater doesn't know. When I had my experience, I couldn't see negativity anywhere in the world. I could only see through the eyes of love. And that's the truth. I didn't hold it. Here I am, still chugging along, climbing the mountain, but it is there. So I kind of feel like I've saturated you all. But again, know that everything is in your handouts, or you can email me and I can send you some old ones to cover the things that I've shared before that I didn't share this afternoon. But I also wanted us to do another thing that I think is really powerful. Do you have something to say, Scotty? Do we have any more questions? Dina.
I'm not sure I'm really getting the slide the pinky thing. So you just cross your fingers like this, right? And then are you just saying?
You move your whole, you move one digit completely over. So if you cross your hands, you've done it the dominant brain way. Do you understand that? Your dominant brain is doing it because that's what you're used to. So you want to create new neural pathways in your brain so that you're a whole brain being once again. So you move everything one digit over.
Okay.
And then it feels awkward because you're not used to doing it.
Right.
You all understand that?
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions about anything that has been shared?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so before we go, I want to share EFT with Ho'oponopono. Have you all heard of Ho'oponopono? You know the power of Ho'oponopono. It has a really good momentum going on the planet. And in English, it means, and we don't even have to know what it is that we're sorry for, but it's I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And And you can say this to anything. There's a whole, you can look it up and you can do it with numbers so that you can see that you've made progress, but you don't have to. I just do it, not even knowing what I'm clearing. I don't care. As long as it's leaving, it's good enough for me. Don't you think? All right. So, and we do it with the tapping. And so it's it's on page 7 of your handouts, halfway down the page. And so I'll do it, and you can do it with me if you can read and do it together as well. So at your brow center, I'm sorry. Side of the eye, please forgive me. Under the eye, thank you. Under the nose, I love you. Chin, I'm sorry. Clavicles, please forgive me. Under the arms at that spleen point, thank you. Crown of the head, I love you. And now let's give gratitude. Thank you for the blessings that I have. Thank you for the blessings I am receiving. Thank you for the blessings that I have. Thank you for the blessings I am receiving. Uh-oh, I missed something. Under the chin. Anyway, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. All right, it's in your notes anyway. I messed up. And then one of the things that I absolutely love that has fed me ever since I read Glenda Green's book is what the master who was here on the planet 2,000 years ago, when he came to her to have her paint a special painting for the planet called The Lamb and the Lion, he said this to her, and the whole book is full of his wisdom that she scribed. The soul is crying for a reality experience which only physical life can give to it. The body is crying for an immortality experience which only the soul can give to it. As you permit this union to fulfill itself, you will directly know what it feels like to be the love that you are. And then you can command that, and you can do it as often as you can, because again, as human, we are so limited and we don't know always what the soul self is asking of us. And also because of all the manipulation and the control and the abuse that has gone on in our planet, we're not sure we can trust the soul self. And so it's taking baby steps, but it is in listening to your body and your innate intelligence. That's the key. Your body is innate intelligence. Al and I still do, but when Al and I, every morning, we had a little routine that we did after we did our breath work before we crawled out of bed. And then we'd go downstairs and sit in front of the fireplace and make it be a violet flame so it would transmute everything. And then we had a whole page full of things that we would say. But the one that I love so much is, I am innate intelligence, and my mind and body knows how to heal itself. If we just really believe that, look at how quickly we would transform this world. I am innate intelligence, and my mind and body knows how to heal itself. So be it. All right. I've probably missed a lot, but I'm tired of talking, and I'm sure you're probably tired of sitting. So let's go ahead and stand up. And one thing I didn't share with you that I must tell you, one of my favorite things at the very end of doing something is to lie down on the floor, bring your arms and your legs up into the heavens, and then just shake the dickens out of them. And we can do that with our hands right now, but shake, shake, shake with the intention that we're clearing anything no longer serving us. But if you do your feet and you do it until you can't do it any longer, And then you lie back down and you go in corpse position and you just open your hands up and open your legs. Opening your legs wide is important. You'll feel the chi. You can probably feel the chi in your hands right now. But this is a beautiful way to clear energy. In the wild, animals that escape the predator always shake it off and then they go about their life. What do humans do? We don't do that. We keep it, we stick it in our bodies. And so shaking is a wonderful way to do. And there are therapies of shaking. So one more thing to tell you to bring that chi down through your body is to lie down or sit down and to rigorously move your feet together as fast as you can. Just push your feet together. And especially like the toe self. And then after you've done it until you think you can't do it anymore, then you bring your legs apart and you'll feel the chi. And that also, just like pointing and flexing the feet, brings that vital energy all the way down into your body so that you can be Tinkerbell and fly into Never Never Land. I wish that for all of us. So thank you all for coming. Any more questions? Any questions at all? If you have them, email me and go ahead and go through your handouts. Want to remind you that if it speaks to you, Anne's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful book, Authenticity at Your Best, is downstairs. And I hope to see you all again. And thank you for coming. And thank you from the church too, because it's programs like this that keep our doors open. Isn't it, Cheryl? And Cheryl says yes. And it's true. Without your love offerings, we wouldn't be here. So, and we're an all volunteer church. And so we depend upon people to come to our events. And there's some lovely ones coming up and some lovely ones that have already been. So check us out often, firstspiritual.com. Thank you. Namaste.